Welcome back. Last week, I had the honor and privilege and just a gift to sit down with Mandy Moore and have an amazing conversation. Let's check it out. I'm super excited to introduce my next guest. She's an amazing actress with Golden Globe and Emmy nominations and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She's a singer and a songwriter with 7 awesome albums. She's Mandy Moore. Mandy, welcome to Leading Through Change.
Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you? I hope you and your family are healthy and well.
Yes, thank you very much. I hope the same for you. Everybody is healthy and well on this side of the camera.
Absolutely. And did you have a good break, a good holiday break?
I did, yeah. We've been back to work on This Is Us for a couple months now, but it's always nice to sort of take a beat for the holidays. And I feel like this year in particular felt all the more special, even though maybe we weren't as connected as we normally are, together in person.
Right.
It was still there's so much to celebrate, so much to, be grateful for.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned my absolute favorite, This Is Us. I mean, that is my cry session every week. What is it like working on a show that has such an emotional impact on viewers?
Oh, thank you. It's kind of my therapy session too, if I'm honest. I think all of us on the show are not immune to the emotions that come along with it. I mean, we still all feel 5 seasons in so lucky to be a part of something that has connected with people on such a deep level. I feel like the show sort of forces us all to like hold a mirror up to ourselves and examine our life and the choices that we've made. And it's really helped kind of redefine family in a really beautiful way. And it's not lost on us. Like, we're all incredibly grateful to be a part of it. And we're having so much fun, and everybody really loves each other. And it's always sort of felt like a family over there on the show, which is a good thing. But yeah, it's the best job I've ever had. And
Well,
I love it.
you all are sharing an amazing gift with the world, because as it makes you put a mirror up for yourself, I think for people, at least for me, it makes me do my own introspection too. So I thank you for that.
Word.
Yeah. Your debut album, So Real, went platinum shortly after you began your acting career. Was it in your vision to always do both?
It was. I mean, I grew up in the suburbs of Orlando, Florida, and I was a total theater dork, and I wanted to do a little bit of everything. And it just so happened that the music sort of came along first, and because there was some semblance of success with music, that sort of opened the door to the acting side of things. So yeah, I was always sort of content if I had my druthers to try a little bit of both. But I had no idea that 21 years later, I would still be here doing what I love and having the opportunity to continue to challenge myself and grow. And it's such a gift.
It is. And is there one that brings you more joy than the other, like acting or singing, or they both bring something different to you?
It's odd. I mean, I feel like even though they're the same side of the creative brain, I feel sort of split and torn. I mean, with the acting side of things, like being on a show like This Is Us or doing a film, there's such a team effort. It feels so collaborative in a way that and there's not like the live performing aspect of it. So it's like not quite the same adrenaline rush. If somebody told me I had to make a choice, I'd probably go with music. I mean, there's something about being so fiercely in control with your own narrative, what you want to talk about. Like, you really are yourself with your music, or at least that's how I've always sort of approached music and songwriting myself. And I feel like I'm able to sort of portray my lens on life. And it's also sort of this catharsis of working out whatever's happening in my life or making sense of things in a way and sort of trying to find the silver lining in it.
So you find that it's a vehicle that you get to express yourself a bit more authentically and freely.
Yeah, you're not relying on someone else to write the words for you or script it for you. It's coming from your brain and your heart. And also, like I said, that rush of adrenaline, nothing can duplicate being on stage and performing live. truly the greatest feeling ever.
Well, the beauty is you are gifted in both areas and you have options. Now, when you started your singing career, there's a urban myth that you were discovered by a FedEx delivery man and
It
he sent a
was.
copy of your music to his friend who was in the music business. Is this
I
true?
know. It sounds totally bizarre and completely made up, but it is true, in fact. So I grew up, like I said, in Orlando, Florida, and I was obsessed with singing the national anthem, which is also totally bizarre. But I literally had my little pitch pipe, and I would the roller hockey team, the ice hockey team, arena football, like anyone that would have me sing the anthem, I was there. And I was singing the national anthem at an ice hockey game. And these two guys approached me and my dad, who was with me afterwards, and said, "Have you ever wanted to go record in a studio before?" And I should have been totally suspect, but it ended up being legit. They're like, "Yeah, if you want to come and pay for studio time and record a demo, we have these connections in different places of the music industry." And I was super green and thought, okay, yeah, this sounds like a dream come true. I want to be Madonna or Bette Midler. So I ended up recording, and I wasn't like a couple days in at the studio when a man who was working for FedEx, a delivery guy, heard me sing and had a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend that like worked at Epic Records in New York. And this lovely gentleman took my demo, sent it off and up the chain, and someone heard something that they liked. And the next thing I knew, I was just started my freshman year of high school, and an A&R guy from Epic flew down to Orlando and asked me to sing live for him, and I signed a record deal, and I left during holiday break of freshman year and started recording my record that January, and was on tour with NSYNC right after that, and then the Backstreet Boys, and that was it. Life just like sort of was became like this crazy roller coaster. And yeah, I was 15. It's still bizarre to think that was my life, and
That is
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
And we owe a huge thank you to that FedEx man.
I
So
do
thank you,
indeed. Yeah.
FedEx. That's wonderful. That no, because you just give a gift to so many. So we do thank you. Speaking of gift and giving, you are involved in so many worthy causes, from children to leukemia, cancer, malaria, women's issues, domestic violence. What is the driving force behind you giving back in such amazing ways?
Um, Thanks. I mean, I feel like we all have a personal responsibility, and maybe even more so being somebody who's in the public eye, to use whatever platform, whatever megaphone you have to raise awareness for different causes and organizations that have touched you and really need that sort of outreach. So over the years, yeah, some of the causes that you've mentioned are things that really mean so much to me. And I just feel lucky that, again, simply because of my job and the incredible good fortune that I've had to, sort of build this platform over the last 2 decades, it's allowed me to sort of really draw attention to things that matter most to me. And I feel like that balance always has to sort of be a part of my life for me, for it to feel fulfilling and worth it. And I want to use, all of this this momentum and energy that, again, I have the good fortune of having behind me. It's like you want to sort of target it in the best way possible.
Absolutely. It's kind of like this cycle, right? The more you get, the more you give. And it's
Yeah.
like a natural cycle to be a part of. You were talking about, it completing, being part of who you are. There's also a very adventurous part of you.
Mhm.
You climbed Mount Everest, correct?
I did not climb Mount Everest
No.
because that would take months, and I am not a skilled alpinist, not a professional. I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, and then a year after that, I decided I wanted to do Everest Base Camp, which is sort of the trek into the base of Mount Everest, which still takes about 8 days. And it was incredible. I mean, I love hiking. Again, I'm by no means a professional. I like to say that I love to walk slowly uphill. That's what I enjoy.
And I can go hiking anytime then, because that's my pace too.
Really? Oh, perfect. We would totally be friends IRL then. But what I really love and what I feel like I've always sort of taken away from these like incredible trips to like corners of the planet that I never thought I'd be fortunate enough to see is sort of the solitude. I've been lucky to go on these trips with like friends and my now husband, and that's wonderful. Like there's a deep connection that you get, I think, by you know, traveling to these parts of the world and like having this experience together. But I really love the times when I'm just sort of, you know, by myself, just hearing sort of the crunch of like the gravel and the ground underneath my feet and really tapping into my breath and breath work, which I feel like I've been able to incorporate in other parts of my life, whether it's, you know, when I'm super stressed out or feeling anxious, or even when I'm exercising. I know that sounds ridiculous, but really concentrating on your breath and where it comes from and that foundation is something that like I has guided me through the rest of my life in different chapters, but I just never thought it's what I would get out of these you know, incredible journeys that I've taken.
Absolutely. I think you hit on such a key point. I mean, breath and the power of breathing techniques can really change any situation, like really tapping into the power of breath and breath work. So
Yeah.
I read that in an article that you spoke about the breath work that you learned in
Yeah.
climbing base camp Mount Everest, and it was powerful in what you said. So yeah,
Thank you.
that will stick with me. Thank you.
No.
Uh, Now, the title of your latest album, Silver Landings, is very fitting. What was the motivation behind that? And in the music, you sound like you landed, at least in that moment, in a happy place.
Yeah. You know, I hadn't made a record in a little over a decade when I made Silver Landings, and it came out just about a year ago now, right before the start of the pandemic. Um, I think Silver Landings sort of comes from the idea. It's like you know, a different way of referencing a silver lining, which I'm a big fan of that term, of looking glass half full on the bright side of things. And because I hadn't made a record in a little over a decade, I feel like I had so much baggage to drop, but also life to draw upon and write about and sing about in a really authentic way as a woman, as a 35, 36-year-old woman, not in a previous incarnation of my life. And I just really relished the whole experience of writing that record and making the record. And I did land in a happier spot. I mean, I am I am in a wonderful relationship. I wrote my entire that Silver Landings. I wrote with my husband, and we got to, you know, play a little bit of that music together. In fact, we're going to be playing in just a little bit together. But so to be able to share that experience together was really sort of like fortifying, and really, I think, even solidified our relationship even more. But I'm really proud of it, and it also sort of granted me access back into a world that I really missed. I mean, I think the last 4 or 5 years, I'd really thrown myself into the world of This Is Us and acting. And because of the show and my character's backstory sort of dipping her toe into musical waters, I think it really opened up this world of possibility to me again of like, if you miss music, you have to find a way back.
Yes.
And so I'm grateful for that experience and that opportunity. And it led to making this record. And now I'm definitely not going to let another decade pass before I make more music.
Awesome. And I'm sure the fans are very grateful for your realization of that. Like, yeah, back. Speaking of grateful, can you tell me something in this moment? What is something you're grateful for?
Oh, I am grateful for the light at the end of the tunnel. I really feel like this period that we've all sort of lived through, I feel like, not that it's coming to an end, because who knows what the new normal is going to necessarily be, but I really feel like there's so much hope out there for this next year, for 2021, and everything that lies ahead for all of us. So I'm grateful for that, like a vaccine and just like new energy and new administration. It feels like forward momentum in the best possible sense. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm 9 months pregnant, so I'm also grateful to my body for getting me here and about to be a mother and everything that that will entail. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. Maybe that's why I'm looking on the bright side of things as well.
Wow. So you are busy creating arms and legs right now in this moment.
In this moment, absolutely, there's like a lot of kicking going on just below the camera.
Oh, beautiful. Nothing more beautiful. That's beautiful. That is.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Would you introduce for us or tell us about this wonderful gift you're about to give all of our viewers that it sounds like you did a little bit with your husband?
Yeah, absolutely. So my husband Taylor and I, like I said, we wrote all of Silver Landings together, and we've been home quarantining like the rest of the world for almost the past year, and have had so much fun continuing to write, but also like we've been doing little like one-off performances just online every now and then, and it's been fun to kind of like break it down to just sort of like its raw acoustic element. So I thought it would be fun today to share a little bit of bringing it way back to my very first single, Candy, and doing sort of a very stripped down acoustic version of that. And then we're also going to sing a song from Silver Landings called Save a Little for Yourself, which was a song that was released as a single, whatever that means these days anyway. But it really is sort of a mantra that I feel like I've really tried to incorporate into my life, and I've sort of taken on just this idea of not giving away, and not necessarily like completely turning a blind eye to taking care of yourself. Like self-care and addressing your needs is of the utmost importance. Otherwise, like you can't be there and to be available to give to other people in your life that you love. And then the last song that we did or are going to do is called Merrimack River, and that is a song from my record previous to Silver Landings called Amanda Lee. And it's a little bit it's a weird sort of like daydream trip that sort of hits upon all kinds of different things in life, but sort of was spawned from this idea of being born in New Hampshire, although I grew up in Florida. And so the Merrimack River it's a river in New Hampshire, and that's sort of where that stems from.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to see this. And before we wrap, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to talk with me today. You are such a brilliant light. Continue to shine that light and inspiring so many and touching so many. And congratulations on 9 months. Wow. Exciting, great things to come in 2021. So I appreciate your time, and let's check out this musical gift that she is sharing with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.